All rise. We will away. The International Criminal Court is now in session. L'audience à la Cour pénale internationale est ouverte. Please be seated. Why was sworn?
Thank you very much. Court officer, please call the case.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Situation in
In the Republic of Kenya in the case the prosecutor versus William Samoei Ruto and Joshua Arap Sang, ICC 0109-0111. We are in open session, Mr. President.
Thank you. Appearances.
Morning, Mr. President. Your Honours, for the prosecution, the team remains unchanged.
Good morning, Mr. President, Your Honours. The victims are represented by Charlotte Divina, James Maverick, and myself, Arsenal 96. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honours. Mr. Sang's team remains the same, and Mr. Sang is present.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. President, Your Honours. For the record, Mr. Ruto is present today, and the defence team will remain the same.
Thank you very much. Mr. Canavas.
Good morning, Mr. President, and good morning to everyone else.
Thank you. Your appearance noted as well. We're in open session. Witness, welcome back. And Ms. Alexandra will continue her cross-examination. Ms. Alexandra, we're in open session.
Your Honour, perhaps you can go back to
Mr. President.
We will go to
private session.
Private session.
All rise. We will away. Please be seated. Why was sworn?
Thank you very much. We're in open session. Mr. Ken, there was an indication from the registrar
Yes,
that you want to address the bench.
please, and I'm most grateful for that message being conveyed. And I've broached the matter of my application with my learned friend, Mr. Steinberg.
Do you first we're in open session
Indeed, we can remain in open session.
and the
Of course
witnesses?
Your Honour, it's unrelated to the testimony of the witness. So the
Oh,
witness
right.
can hear or the sound can be turned off.
Oh, all right, okay.
Mr. President, it's an application that the court allow us to have a 1 hour lunch break today instead of 1.5 hours, and to finish at 3:30, or in the alternative, if we stick to the normal schedule, to allow Mr. Ruto to leave at 3:30. The reason is that there is scheduled an African Union Heads of State conference in Addis Ababa, and the President, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, was due to leave today. He delayed his travel for Mr. Ruto to return. KLM and Kenya Airways have, starting this month, made a commercial decision that there are no evening flights. So in order for Mr. Ruto to get back to Kenya, he has to get a flight to through another destination, I won't say how, in order to either through a European port or London to get to Kenya. So, Your Honours, I would ask that he be allowed to leave at 3:30 p.m. in order for him to get back to Kenya tomorrow morning, upon which the President would go to Addis Ababa. It's an important matter because the President, apart from the heads of state, there are matters that are being discussed in advance regarding the Central African Republic and also South Sudan. And at this moment, the President of the Republic is also the chair of the East African Association community. So
Your request, to cut it short, your request effectively would be to excuse him for 30 minutes.
Indeed, and Your Honours, if the court wishes to shorten the lunch break, there'd be no shortening of time away from court. In other words, he'd be here for the normal duration of the full court day, the normal hours, so there'd be no excusal at all. It's simply that we would finish earlier. If the court, for reasons, of course, the interpreters need their rest and their breaks, if the court was not amenable to that, I would simply ask that Your Honours allow, in the exercise of your discretion, Mr. Ruto to leave at 3:30 p.m. in order to get the flights necessary. I've raised it with Mr. Steinberg, and he kindly said there's no objection from the prosecution. I'm grateful.
All right. We've heard your application. We will inform you of our decision later. Ms. Alexandra, you continue your cross-examination. The chamber will deliberate on Mr. Khan's application and inform you of our decision. Yes.
Thank you, Honour. Honour, if you can go back into a private session, please.
Private session.
Your Honours, if I may just indicate, I have an answer to my learned friend's query before the lunch break about the payments to this witness, but I think I should give it in private session and probably without the witness listening in.
Yes, we will go into private session.
Please be seated.
Thank you very much. And witness, welcome back. Ms. Alexandra, we're in open session.
Could we go back to private, please, Your Honour?
You want to go back to private session? Private session.